Call the Village of Weston Tourism Commission to order. If we could all stand for the pledge of allegiance of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Let's see, roll call.
Ermeling,
Here.
Frederick. Here. Maloney,
Here.
Wyland, she's excused. Nagami.
Here. All right, thank you. Public comments. Got one here from Jim Pincinel, 120-2025. State your name and address for the record.
Jim Pencinel, 5,000 Barrow Street in Weston. So many of my public comments will be questions. Not expecting a response, this is merely public comment, but perhaps food for thought for later on the agenda. I don't see a transfer to the CIP or general fund as budgeted. Please explain why. There are $194-ish thousand in meetings being business. What can this money be used for? And how can it be allocated and spent? Where does this money currently sit? In a coffee can under a mattress, or is it generating interest? If it's generating interest, I see no interest generated. I would hope that it's not in a traditional savings account with the yield of fraction less than 1%, and that at minimum it's in a high yield savings account. But if it's not, I don't feel like that's a good plan. Some of the applications look like a fourth grader filled them out, Microsoft Paint, all the fonts is different sizes, and they couldn't be less professional looking. Can we please fix that moving forward? I don't know if we submit this as a document and it's a fillable document, or if we're trying to fit the square peg in the round hole, but it looks terrible. I think we could do a lot better. Page 33 in the packet, the application is incomplete. It was answered yes. That hotels were there, but there are no hotels listed. It's also not signed, so I don't think that action can be taken on this evening. In regard to the Green Lake Center Community Center, what other options for air conditioning have been explored, and what is the cost to do so? What other communities are committing funds and how much? Why is Weston being asked to bear the financial burden of this promissory note? It seems more reasonable that the CVB would draft a promissory note and then would ask for contributions from all of the municipalities. Weston is just one little fish in the Visit Wausau pond. What if the promissory note is not written and granted by the Village of Weston this evening? What if the improvements are not made at Green Heck Turner Community Center? When is the deadline for the funds to be raised and released for the improvements? Do you have a copy of the grant funding request letter, which should be shared with the Tourism Commission and for all municipalities involved? When is the deadline to submit the grant? When will you know if the grant is awarded? If the grant is not awarded, what is the plan? How long have you known that the Green Heck Turner Community Center does not have the required HVAC system and infrastructure to host the event? When was this put out for bid for the Horseshoe event? And then in regard to the Hmong after action report, the after action report is extremely informative. But when will we actually see the after action report in the mutually contractually agreed upon format as outlined in the latest CVB contract? It is not displayed as such. Who added this report in the incorrect format for submission to the commission? Does the CVB have a copy of the Village of Weston after action report format? What questions are there about how it should be filled out and submitted? Why was an alternate format utilized? That is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Minutes from previous meeting. Approval of minutes from previous meeting, December 16th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Ermeling,
Second.
second by Zagami. Anything on, any question? On the minutes, under the section with, I just noticed Joanne with Wisconsin Valley Fair, and her name is Diane. So it was Keith and Diane, not Keith and Joanne. That's just the one that glared, because it came up several times when they were talking to the commission. That's all I have. Anybody else have any questions on the minutes? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We're gonna move, if the commission's okay with this, we have quite a youth, attendance here tonight, and we'd like to respect the sunlight and getting out of this cold. So if we could have, number 9 moved up to now, if the commission would allow that? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So if, grant request for 2025 white and red minimalist baseball tournament. Who's, speaking? Okay. Just state your name and address for the record, okay? Thanks, Jim.
Jimmy Olson, 5503 Winding Creek Drive in Weston. Speaking on behalf of DC Everest Youth Baseball.
Is there anybody here tonight?
I think there's
Would they like to stand maybe and just see who's all here? Who's all here for youth baseball? It's a heck of an attendance. That's awesome. Come on up here, so. Yep, come on up. You can all be part of the presentation. How's that? Yep, nope. Maybe a smile if you want, if you don't have to. All right. All right, go ahead.
Great.
Yeah.
We have our first indoor tournament at Green Heck Turner this year. We're really excited about it. We have 2 age groups and 14 teams in total, 2 being our Everest teams and teams from all over the state. Excited to play baseball early before most of the state gets to see grass. So we're pretty excited about it. We have 9-year-olds and 11-year-olds, 2 divisions. And we have teams from Janesville, Appleton, Green Bay, whole slew of teams. So we're pretty excited about it.
That's awesome. Are you able to use the area now for like practice and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, we had our first practices for our youth organization last night, in fact. We had our uniform fitting for all of our organization, and then the first teams had their practice last night, so
Yeah.
it's pretty exciting.
I hear a couple of acquaintances I have that have kids down in school today. So they're able to use the Green Neck Turner for, I can't remember the name of it, but it's some after-school activities, so it's pretty neat. So,
Today, we just came from, a bunch of us just came from over there, so because there was no school, we just rented it for an hour, we threw the ball
Sure.
around, we were hitting into cages, and it was pretty fun.
that's awesome. Any questions on the commission at all? No? Anybody want to make a?
But I just
Mhm.
like to thank them for what they do,
Yep.
because I think,
Yep.
I know how much effort it take to put all these organize all these activity together
Mhm.
and make a tournament and run a tournament
Mhm.
and run a good tournament.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
the hope.
I'll move to approve.
Motion to approve.
Grant.
Yep, motion to approve by Zagami, the $2,000 amount requested. Second by Kim Frederick, our hotelier. Let's see, we have a motion and a second on the table. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Awesome. Great job, everybody. Next time I'm gonna expect you guys to talk a little bit more. Okay? All right. Sounds good. Only one shows up. Mhm.
Good work, you made it happen. Good job.
Thank you. Yep, thank you. Yep. All right, we'll move back to, let's see, we'll move back to acknowledge, well, why don't we just take them all and then we'll do the work process later, okay? So let's go back to number 8, grant request 2025 GG's 5K Glow Run Walk.
Number 7.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yep, absolutely. Number 7, grant request the Winter Classic. The Winter Classic is what we're on. Is there somebody here that'd like to chat about it? Okay. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure, hi there. My name is Colin Vanel. I live at 710 South 17th Street in Wausau.
Okay.
I'm on the board of MC United Soccer Club. I'm also the tournament director for the club. Many of you probably know about MC United, maybe have kids, grandkids that have played. We're the community's largest youth soccer club, probably the largest youth soccer club in central Wisconsin, maybe the biggest sports club, youth sports club in all of the greater Wausau area. We have, I don't know, Jeff, how many total kids?
So we're gonna register 429. Jeff is our president of the club.
Okay.
What?
So that was a team effort.
That's the effort. I didn't get that. But, 429 registrations, this year. One of the things that we'll probably talk about here in a second is, there's an ask here for help, but, we also give probably, I think the number this year that I'm seeing is about $13,000 in scholarships, to kids where we waive fees just for uniforms, and then probably another $20,000 of scholarship players that we're gonna have in our club this year. So that means they pay nothing for uniforms and nothing for their registration to play. So it's a big part of what we're doing. So of those 429 kids, roughly 30 to 35 of those kids are gonna play with no cost. So
So yeah, we're a really big member of the community. We really believe strongly in giving opportunities for all kids to play recreationally or competitively, and our kids play all over the state and all over the Midwest playing soccer. So I don't think we've ever been to these meetings before. We've sought other grants before from the Visitors Bureau, but I don't think ever here. So we hold two big outdoor tournaments every year at the People's Sports Complex. That tournament has grown over the years, and we really are becoming like a premier outdoor soccer tournament destinations where we have teams from all over Wisconsin, Minnesota, Upper Michigan come to our community and spend the weekend, and I'm sure spend lots of money here. And it's grown in the last couple of years, and it's become almost like a destination tournament, which is awesome. Now that Green Heck Turner facility is open, now this year we're starting our inaugural indoor tournament, which we're also trying to promote as being this premier, awesome, must-go-to tournament to sort of pair with our outdoor events. So our outdoor tournament our indoor tournament is branded the Winter Classic, and that's going to be March 8th and 9th. And so, yeah, there's going to be approximately 65 teams that have registered, and the registrations are actually still coming in today. On the surface, initially, it looks like it's going to be, within the first year, it's going to be the biggest indoor youth soccer tournament in the state. And we're hoping that this is a big success this year, and it just gets better from here. But as you can imagine, it's a big undertaking to run these tournaments. So we're just looking for some help to pull off a big, great event for everybody. So yeah, we already have teams signed up from Minneapolis, Rockford, lots of teams from the Madison area, Milwaukee, Green Bay. So this is already shaping up to be a big time event for us.
How many team maximum we can take?
So our math shows that, yeah, we are essentially at our capacity at roughly 65 teams. Because there's going to be four games can be played at a time, and we have this rented space. And so, yeah, we actually are at our capacity, and we actually have a couple teams on the waiting list. So we've already maxed it out.
That's great.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited.
just as a point of clarity too on the application, I think it's looking at, and I just want full transparency here. There was a question about hotel stays.
Yeah.
I'm not certain that this tournament, the way it's structured, is going to generate hotel stays. But I can tell you that our spring and fall tournaments certainly do, as Colin alluded to. I think our spring tournament had 140 teams. And our fall was a little bit less than that. And largely, we are going to use this tournament as a fundraiser. It's really what its intended purpose is. And again, it's really focused on those kids, that money is going to be utilized to help these kids continue to play soccer. We do view ourselves, I think, here as more than just a youth sports organization, given, the charitable contribution back to the community. And so part of the reason we're here, obviously, is for help. And we do believe we've given back to Weston in the I'm certain we've had hotel stays with our big tournaments, our 2-day tournaments. This one might not generate those hotel days, but I can also tell you it's a huge fundraiser, and it's going to go right back to the kids.
Not knowing, you might want to have a little questionnaire, to everyone in March, did or did you not stay in a hotel?
Yeah.
And it's because it's your first year, you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I think they'll gladly answer it if they know that it'll help in future years.
Yeah.
Just a questionnaire of some sort, if you have all the teams coming, you know. And then you'd be able to generate how many rooms.
Yeah, that would be my
Cause
concern.
then we're gonna have a pulse report after.
Right,
Yeah.
I mean, this year you don't know, but next
Right.
year if you come
Mhm.
back, the
Yeah.
idea is we're supposed to generate rooms.
Yeah, and I mean, so there's some teams, like let's say there's a team from Milwaukee that's playing on
Mhm.
Saturday morning at 8.
Mhm.
I'm pretty certain they're gonna be
Right.
spending Friday night
Oh, yeah.
here.
Yep.
But since it's a 2-day tournament, teams are only playing on one of the 2 days. So it's not like a mandatory overnight, but then likewise, if a team plays Sunday morning and they're coming from Madison, they're probably spending Saturday night here,
I
but
would
they're
think
probably
so.
not doing a 2-nighter.
So how many games each team gonna play
Each team is gonna play at least 3 games in a day
in one day?
and 1 day. The games are, 2 20-minute halves.
20 minutes, yeah.
And so when we look at the schedule too, I'm jumping in and out, I'm sorry, but when we look at the schedule too, we're gonna have teams that are here for 6, 7 hours, right, during the day. There's a very good possibility that they are gonna stay overnight. I just don't, again, I wanted to be fully transparent with you guys, because I don't want you I don't want to give the impression that we know these answers. So full transparency is we're hoping they stay. And again, throughout the years, we've generated hotel stays in the area for sure, and not have been in front of this board for this reason before, which is why we're kind of here without knowing exactly how many stays we're gonna generate on this fund. But largely, like I say, it's really a fundraiser for us and really gonna go back to the kids.
I appreciate the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say to keep track of, if you can, if you do have hotel stays. So if you're coming back next year to ask, that would be our question. You don't know, this is your first year.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I guess I would keep track of that because, like I said, that is the purpose of this.
Yep, and we've been very careful with that. I can tell you that we've just developed in the last probably year or so, a committee of folks that are trying to get that information on exactly what we're bringing into the area, what hotels, partnering with the hotels, making sure that we're putting on these spring and summer or the spring and fall tournaments, that we're directing people to the local hotels. Like that's been a big objective of ours under the 8 months here that I've been president, is we've really expanded that opportunity to make sure we're promoting local. And we really try hard to do that.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
But I think with the location, Green Neck, Scott Turner located, it makes sense for people to stay in
Oh,
the
yeah.
village
Oh,
before
definitely.
they go outside, so. I think it's gonna affect some, how much is, you're gonna find out.
Yeah. What's
Well,
your
then our
pleasure?
hope too, sorry to interrupt,
Go ahead.
is that these tournaments sort of feed off of each other. So there are multiple teams that I've recruited, or clubs that I've recruited from Milwaukee or Madison. The hope is that this builds where they come up to Wausau, they like coming here, they hear about other tournaments. So not only are they gonna come up in the winter, then they're gonna come back in the spring and the fall. And they're gonna view Wausau and MC United and their tournaments as these, it's a smallish community, but like our events are premier. And they're really destination tournaments. So that's what I'm just hoping that sort of creates that.
And I'll add one more thing to that, because that's a great point, but, and I know Aaron's sitting here, but, Aaron and I are in contact a lot about these events, and we're of the belief that getting people into the Green Heck building is really good for the community, and we work with Aaron and them to, cross promote and help each other out, so that, like Colin said, when we're working on these things, like, it's not just thinking about MC United, we are holistically thinking about like getting people in the Green Heck building so they will come back and use it for other things. And that's a big part of why we're even hosting this tournament at that building.
It's gonna get to the point with Green Neck Turner that there's gonna be 6 or 7 different groups that wanna use it for a week.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a hell of a time
And we
picking
want
which
that.
one.
I mean, like
So,
Aaron and
it's
Green
gonna
Heck have
happen.
been great partners for us, and we really value that relationship. And
gonna
that's
happen. Yep.
part of the initiative here too, is to continue to build out that building and make it the destination place in the state for these kinds of events, whether it's horseshoes or soccer or baseball, it doesn't matter, because once you get a family in there and they see it, they're gonna wanna come back for whatever sport they're playing. So this is a little bit about soccer, but there's also a piece of this that is about building out, getting people in that building and wanting to come back to Wausau in that building.
What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Ermeling,
I'll second that.
second by Frederick. Any more on the question or on anything else? No, so it is for the amount of $5,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, So carried. Good job. You bet. Now moving on to 8, grant request 2025 GG's 5K Glow Run and Walk. Anybody here?
They are joining us virtually. I
Okay.
see Erica is joining us virtually.
Okay.
Yes, my kid with school not being here, he's at home with me. So I also have Lizzie. Our Playhouse has seen some considerable growth in regards to the number of people we're serving. So we did have to hire someone. So Lizzie is our volunteer coordinator at the Playhouse. And she's actually been volunteering with the Playhouse and was part of one of the bigger teams at our 5K last year. So she knows all about this event as well. This will be, believe it or not, our 5th year
What
for
year?
our 5K. It will be located at the same place as always, Weston YMCA. It just provides a really nice natural venue for the teams. Because last year we had 37 teams, so that's about, I would say probably close to 23 of them actually came early, pitched a tent. That's the whole kind of theme tailgate evening glow fun run that we have. Last year we did invest in glow tunnels along the route. And what was really great about it is one of our sponsors said, well, how are you decorating them? I said, well, I've got 2 of them figured out, and they took the lead on decorating and using it. Southport Home Services took the lead and actually took over one of the tunnels along the route. They're inflatable and they're like 10 by 16, so they're massive, but it really added to our event. Last year we also added RC cars as part of our event. That went over well. Kids love that. We still partner with My Team Triumph to be able to have that inclusiveness of those adaptive race chairs to start our 5K. And although we're more about the fun than the run, we do have those dedicated runners that do show up. So we do ensure that there is a large clock for them to be able to do their timing and everything like that. This is our biggest event for basically supporting our Playhouse through the year. Last year we did have a lower attendance, but we also ran into the lovely weather. So we stuck it out. We were standing out in the rain and doing what we could with it. But what was interesting, even with lower attendance last year, we raised more. So we raised over $70,000 with this event last year, just because of the nature of what it's set up. So teams do peer-to-peer fundraising. So a lot of the teams are our families that use this event to create kind of like a family reunion. So that's where you'll see, I do have them listed, like all of the different places that do come and participate with surrounding states and stuff like that. And clearly someone coming from Chicago or Minnesota, Duluth, they're spending a night because that would be a long night because our event starts at 5 p.m. and really doesn't wrap up until 10 p.m. What else would be new? I think this year we're kind of, because we've kind of added those new big features last year, we're going to kind of just stick with what works with the new run through tunnels, the all age, all ability obstacle course that we do that's unique to our event, and just promoting really it being a family-based event. It's not just Playhouse participants, anyone that feels the need for like being able to have that acceptance and inclusion. That's why we do this event for people like my son who's just walking through here right now. And again, it's our biggest fundraiser for the Playhouse to support our growing families. Like we had 22 new families last year, and we already have 2 in the first 20 days of January. So
Thank you, Erica. You
Yeah.
said this is your 5th year, right?
yes,
Yeah,
it's
outstanding.
crazy.
Yeah, that's neat. Any questions from the commission? What's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Zagami for $2,500. Do I hear a second? Second by Ermeling. Any more on the question? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, so carried. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you as always, and I
Okay.
encourage anyone to come visit the Playhouse when we're open and it's not freezing out.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
You. All right, we did number 9. And is 10, is that actually a work? Should we go back to 4 now? Or excuse me, 5?
That's the promissory.
Right, you wanna do that now?
Horseshoe tournament.
You wanna do that now and then do the post event too?
Yeah.
Do all, okay, let's do 10. Promissory note request 2026 World Horseshoe Tournament. You got this one, Jody?
Hello, everyone. Jody McGuire, Director of Operations for the Weston Wisconsin Convention and Visitors Bureau, 209351 County Road 01, Mosinee. I have asked Aaron and Sarah to attend as well to help answer any questions you might have from the Greenhead Turner Community Center. I will kind of give you kind of a preview of the timeline because it kind of will answer some of Jim's questions that he had as well. Back in April of 2024, Aaron and I went to Portland where we went to Sports ETA. And there we meet with different right holders to sporting events. And we have 8 minutes to discuss with them about learning about their, what they're looking for, and then also kind of sell them on our area and what amenities that we have. From there, we met with a lot of different stakeholders, and there was a really good conversation with the NHPA, which stands for the National Horseshoe Pitchers Association. There was in the past, they kind of wanted to come to our area because we are centrally located. And Stevens Point was one of the discussion points a couple of years back. So when we met with Lori, she was really excited that we scheduled a time to meet with her, and she was very excited to learn about the Greenhead Turner Community Center. Since when we returned, Aaron and I did follow-up emails with all of the people that we met with, and just kind of giving them the links to the center, the facility, but then also to visit WASA as well. And again, Lori reached back out and there was a lot of engagement there. So we kind of looked things over with the packet, and we thought that this would be a great opportunity for our area. From there, we went to the Sports Authority with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we asked for a grant request to put in the bid fees. And so the board agreed to fund the $21,000 for the bid of the 2026 World Horseshoe Tournament. And then also put down $7,000 towards the 2029 so that we could put our name in that hat.
Mm-hmm.
We also had to put in $5,000 for the setup and takedown. Because they come here, they want to make sure that you have people and that they don't have to hire. So that is a refundable. So that request we sent out for $33,000, and that was due in July. Before we sent in the bid request, we did meet with all the different municipalities in our area. Gave them the background of the World Horseshoe Tournament, and said that we are looking to bring this to our area. All of them were very supportive. And we did say, we did ask them if we could come to them for financial support down the road once we get closer. All of those municipalities said, yes, we would love to fund this. So now we're kind of going back to late summer here. The Greenhead Turner facility did open up on August 1st. And as you remember, that was a very hot, humid day. And we learned that we won the bid on August 4th. That's when we found out that we won it for 2026 and 2029. A lot of the Horseshoe committee members or people who are in that line, they came to the grand opening because they're excited for this. And that's what prompted this kind of discussion of not having air conditioning.
Just can I pause for a minute? So the promissory note that's being asked tonight, would it be asked with or without air conditioning?
This,
So if there was air conditioning and that topic never came up,
right,
would they still be asking for a promissory note?
for this grant opportunity,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, So I don't think the air conditioning has anything to do with this.
It helps with the NHPA because when they found out that we do not have air conditioning, it prompted the president for the board to come up here, and he came on December 6th, toured the facility. We met with Aaron and Sarah, we had discussions. Everything was premature that Aaron couldn't say that they're going to have air conditioning in there. The NHPA doesn't want to put all the resources or all their eggs in one bucket saying that they're coming here for 2026 if we don't have it in place. So they gave me the feeling that if it's not gonna happen, they need to pull that bid and they're gonna go to their second contender, which is Lansing, Michigan. So that's what prompted us with this grant, because this is the plan B that kind of puts that.
Okay,
their
I
minds at
just
ease.
didn't want the pressure on this that if the promissory note was regardless, then why does all this have to get? We had a chat last week and, you know, we were educated on some of the stuff going on, and thank you for that.
Yes.
And I just, after that, I just thought, is the promissory note regardless? So if it was, then what's the deal? You know, and then they would just move us to 29 and 32. You know, so.
Yep, and that
okay.
would need to be approved.
Instead of
by-
26 and 29, okay, right, I know it'd have to be approved. All right, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So yeah, but so like, since we won the bid, we formed a committee, which is Horseshoe, club members that are local, their state representative, and what's really nice is there's 2 individuals from the NHPA that are on this committee as well. Because once we bring this here, it is our goal to make it the best tournament ever, that we're gonna have a record number of athletes coming, their families are coming, spectators, we wanna have a great experience and to drive the economic impact to our area. So with that tour that we did have in December 6th, you know, Aaron and his team and their board has been looking at different ways to put the air conditioning in, but as we all know, it is a high ticket item. And if we can't sign on that dotted line saying that we're gonna have it for 2026, this is where this grant opportunity comes in. It's a first come, first serve. So once we put in the application, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to find out. This grant opportunity was formed in 2023 by the state, and they put $5 million aside. So once the $5 million are gone, the grant is gone. So each time that we're waiting and delaying it, we lose opportunity to get funds. So the promissory note just kind of puts as my matching fund so that I can submit this grant and we can wait the process to get approved. The NHPA is willing to wait until we hear back from this grant because it would be the plan B for the air conditioning. We're hoping that in the meantime, Aaron will have more insight on the air conditioning. They have been moving parts to it. They do possibly have the funding. Somebody who wants to do it, the board is very supportive of it. So hopefully, you know, the next coming weeks, he'll have more definite answer. If that happens, that's great, because then with the grant opportunity, my budget's still gonna be over what I'm asking, and I'll just help pick up the other pieces of like purchasing the clay and the equipment and.
The hard surface is a gimme. We don't have enough there now, so we've got to get more. Yeah, the clay we don't have on hand, nor would we. We wouldn't store clay and bring it back into this. Thing could be a motocross thing or something, so. Okay. Okay. And the air conditioning, was a thought, you think that you'd be like playing outside? We just have air movers in there or?
No, so we're looking at right now.
Yeah, but I mean prior.
Prior to
Was it prior that it just,
Prior was, the board is completely switched over with
Yeah.
with the horseshoe group, so.
Okay.
What the board currently wants and what the board wanted when we
built.
first had the agreement is,
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say, but it's 2 different committees.
right,
It's-
okay.
There's a lot of things that have come up through this
Yeah.
process that weren't a thing that we discussed when
No,
we
no,
started.
that's okay. You
So
know,
that was a new thing. They recently had one where it was very hot and they had one of their top competitors that had heat exhaustion and wasn't able to compete. So
Okay.
because of that, and it's a much older, a lot of them much older population. Because of that happening, now this board is more concerned with the temperatures in the building where it wasn't before. So
and the spectator, the outside spectator is air conditioned, correct?
the glass box
Yes,
area is,
yes.
the open seating area that's spaced
That's
out is
not,
not.
right,
But yes,
okay,
it-
okay.
Most of it is, but they're mainly considered other competitors.
Yep,
So-
exactly.
Is Green Egg contributing anything towards this?
We don't know that yet. So, yeah.
I mean,
As far as, I mean, we're not buying the air conditioning. We're talking, we're just talking about, what we're talking about right now is a promissory note request that Weston would sign. Does it have the amount in here to 60 to 80,000? All right, then when we get closer, we'd go to all the other area municipalities and ask for help. And then we're looking at about a $10,000 thing for us. But one municipality has to have it done. The municipality is in Weston, the event is in Weston. To me, I mean, my gosh, we've given $200,000 twice to help build.
Well, yeah, that's
And
the idea.
$75,000, well, no, that's a great thing. That's not a negative thing that we gave it. It's generated by the hotels. There isn't a hotelier in the area that wouldn't want that Green Heck Turner in their by theirs. The Weston hoteliers at the time went crazy. They would have done cartwheels to get that facility in this area. So the hoteliers are completely all aboard on this. And it's their money that we're giving away, not ours. We don't get to keep it. So
And we're not looking for any money for the
Right,
air conditioning.
right.
We are funding that separately.
we just need to help the process to bring this world event here. So it's never been in the area, and I think we have a world champion in the state, correct?
2 of them actually.
Two of them actually in the state, yeah. So that's pretty cool.
They'll both be here.
So I didn't mean to jump there, but it's, the
Well,
intent
no,
of the
I
money.
guess I was thinking,
Yeah.
we donated quite a bit and I can't
Mhm.
believe they didn't put in air conditioning.
Well, you missed it. The thing started at 17 million, it ended up at 35 million.
Right.
It's state of the art. I mean, it's world class. I mean, my God, just the stuff I'm hearing about this, I'm not kidding you, in a couple of years, I don't know how you're gonna decide who gets to use it. I mean, you're gonna have to raise the prices. I don't know what the hell you're gonna do. Excuse my language, but I'm not
Well,
kidding.
so now
Mhm.
Aaron was just saying this isn't for the air conditioning.
No. This is just a process to secure the world horseshoe event.
Yep, and so then we get the mansion funds for the.
Right,
grant.
and then she's gonna go and she has a grant availability right now that she can go and get matching funds on this. But even our portion on our promissory note, we'd be able to, all the other municipalities would jump in there and help us down with that.
Because of the
So-
economic impact of this group, so all the sporting events we went to, this one has actually a higher economic impact than the other groups we met with. Because of what they do for an economic impact, the group doesn't pay for really anything when they come in. The community pays to bring the event in because it has a $4 to $5 million economic impact.
Yep.
So every community they go in, the same thing we're doing with you guys has been done in every community they've been in before. You have to raise the funds to host a world event.
And the point, and so at first I'm thinking, okay, horseshoes, I'm thinking, come on. And then I'm thinking of the soccer and all the different area events that are gonna use it. And that gets us to one point. But a world event, that gets us everywhere, and I don't care what the world event is. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's different states, different countries, and they're talking about this facility here in central Wisconsin, oh my gosh, that's gonna garner some steam, big time steam.
But are the other communities aware of the fact that we're
Yes.
gonna be obligating ourselves for $60,000 to $80,000 and that they're going to be approached to help cover that cost?
Yep, we did our due diligence
Yeah.
before we even submit the bid request on July 1st. Aaron, Sarah and I met with all the different municipalities and there were some that I talked to individually. And they all fully support this and they also gave the financial commitment. A lot of them didn't put like a dollar amount, but they said, yes, we would financially support it when you come back to our tourism commission.
I kind of did a Reagan thing and I trust, but I verified. So I went to 2 communities and verified that did happen. I mean, Jody, I trust you.
Yep.
So, but I needed to verify it.
Okay, so when would these funds be required? I mean, we got a promissory note, but when would we have to pay it out? When are we gonna know what we owe? I guess is what I'm gonna ask.
When I submit the grant, I kind of researched that out and it's 4 to 6 weeks of approval. And then we don't really want to do any of the funds until 2026.
Okay, because I
Because we
was,
want to be in all of our, same budget years and things like that. So that's when we would be coming to ask for that. But in the meantime, we will be continuing going to these tourism commissions, from now until late, September, asking for them to make that. So then we would have it finalized by then, so we would know what everyone pays.
so we're just the municipality that has to do the note because you can.
I can't do 5 or 6,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I just
No, it's good questions, very good
And when they
questions,
did
very
have
good.
it in 2023, it was held in Lansing, Michigan, and they had a $5.5 million economic impact. It does go for 2 weeks long that they're here. The pitchers do compete for 3 days, so they're staying a minimum of 4. And then when we bring in other aspects of family activities that they can do, that helps them, and they'll stay longer because they make a family vacation out of it. That's what we're hoping. But yeah, it does have a very big economic impact to it.
I assume you advertise the hotels.
Yes.
Yep, and all 4 hotels, when the president was here for the NHPA, the 4 hotels that are in Weston, they will all be host hotels.
For the event, and we'll also be using Kennedy Park for entertainment piece, because you can't smoke or drink on school grounds.
Okay,
So they're gonna
okay.
wanna maybe play some cards over there, a little poker or whatever, so maybe talk
Okay, I
about
just
horseshoes,
needed to,
yeah.
because I can hear people say you did what, and I gotta have an answer.
Oh, no, it's been
Yeah.
researched pretty well.
Okay.
All right, any more questions? Shane, Kim, no?
Just enough.
What's your pleasure?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Fredericks. And do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Zagami. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Good
Thank
job,
you.
Jody. Yep. Yeah. Shane?
Just a comment, Aaron.
Yeah.
That issue with humidity inside that building is not unusual. Just the amount of the concrete they put in there is still releasing moisture, plus the painting, plus all the other water they use inside that building, plus the ground itself. That's what they causing the problem. So if it was good to put the dehumidifier there in the construction, the large one, but didn't happen probably, but it's not big deal. I think it can work it out, let's put it that way.
Okay. Thanks, Husheng. Post event, number 11, post event 2024 Wausau Hmong New Year. What is that? We have it?
It's just an FYI.
I guess just to discuss, so we're on the same page, they didn't use the post report. The report though is pretty thorough.
Very thorough.
I'm not sure if we want to ask them to complete the post report, or the way the motion was structured is that it would influence future funding if they did not complete they did not use the post report. So my question would be if Jody reached back out to them and expressed to them to use the post report, or it might influence future funding and ask for it.
Are all the answers?
Long is willing to do that. I
Oh,
already.
they are? Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. But are all the questions from the post report answered in this?
I think actually
Yes.
more than what the post
More.
report asked are on here.
Okay. Okay. So, motion to accept?
I would accept it with the understanding they'd fill out the proper forms and submit them.
Okay. And it sounds like it might be easier for him.
Well, I mean, this is good,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that if we got a form, fill
Right.
it out.
No, I agree. Okay, so now moving back to number 5, acknowledge work. Oh,
I
are we gonna
Second.
acknowledge it?
Do you need a second?
Just to acknowledge it, that we're gonna accept it?
I think we've done a motion in the past, haven't we?
Yeah. Okay, so motion by Ermeling,
Mhm.
second by Zagami. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you.
With the,
Yeah.
with the note that
Yep.
proper
Get done,
filing
sure.
will be done.
Acknowledge work product transmittals. Number 5, draft December budget status report.
What you see is a draft. Fourth quarter room tax are not due until the end of February, so we do not have them yet. The transfer to the improvement fund's not complete yet because we don't know how much to transfer. So we're
Okay.
waiting to the end. Right now we have 98,313, but that number will grow as soon as we get the fourth quarter in, and then we will transfer it to the capital improvement fund. And then we will not have much of a balance. There is a slight balance in the room tax. I think it was like $3,000. It's not apparent on this sheet because this just shows revenues and expenditures, but
Yes, Tom.
I'll be coming in the future to ask to get rid of those funds. I tried a couple different times and nobody wants to spend them, so maybe next time I'll try bring them and see if we can give them to CVB or if the commission wants to spend them. But we got some funds in our room tax fund from like 2019 that we need to spend.
Okay.
So I'll bring them back and see if we can give them to the CVB next time.
Could we commit them to Kennedy?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Okay, we can get commission approval to,
I don't know, can't remember how
How
much.
much money?
I think it's literally like $3,000.
Yeah, I mean, we're
But
not,
they're just hanging out, so we need to get spent.
Okay, got it.
I'll bring them next time.
Okay. All right, so number 5, so acknowledge, you want to do CVB reports or acknowledge number 5?
knowledge draft, the draft December budget status report.
By Ermeling? I need a second. I'll second it. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We have somebody not in their seat. 6, CVB reports.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I apologize for not being there in person. I got a little bit of a bug that's been going around. This is Tim White, the director of the CVB and 225-721 Swan Avenue in Rib Mountain. Just a couple things to mention. One, we really want to acknowledge not only our staff, but the entire CVB board, our appreciation for the new contract and the opportunity to collaborate for mutual benefit. Just want to reaffirm our commitment to promoting Weston's assets and engaging in initiatives that drive visitation and economic growth to the area and to Weston and to the area in general. And just in light of some of the comments and stuff, I just would encourage anyone, any individual who has questions about anything with the CVB, feel free to reach out directly to us. You can email or call us with questions or sit down for a cup of coffee to talk about projects, procedures, or any issues. We're fully transparent and want people to understand. So just want to highlight a couple things. We're continuing to promote Weston's lodging properties and attractions and events, really emphasizing, the measurable benefits for local businesses. So we're excited about Kennedy Park, but Greenheck Turner, we just continue to be excited about the investment that you have made in the Greenheck Turner facility, because it allows us as a CVB to go after many more events. And actually, Mark, like you said, the World Horseshoe event, and Aaron, I believe, mentioned it too. The World Horseshoe event will not only be a great event, but it's going to preview to every other sports events what we can do here in the greater Wausau area. And that could not be done before Greenheck Turner facility came. So that's pretty exciting to be a part of that and to really show off that asset. There's a number of things that we're doing with local engagement. If you ever want to know, I've said this a couple times, but I'll keep saying it. Go to visitwausau.com/marketing, because what you'll be able to see there is you'll be able to see current assets and content that is out for public consumption, for what we're doing with marketing. Right now, we have a little series called Behind the Plate. Asobuco head chef Marco is highlighted in that, and we're going to continue to highlight those kind of things that are happening in your community that make sense, that are attractors for visitors. We'll be doing new marketing assets, including assets in Weston for a new website refresh. And then we'll continue to give you metrics of things. As some of you might know, the Badger State Winter Games is just starting, and you can take a look at what the events that are going to be happening. A number of them are really filling up. Unfortunately, curling has to be canceled because we don't have enough teams for that, but we're working with the curling center to restructure that so that it comes out stronger in future events. Also, the NFL draft is going to be April 24th through the 26th. We haven't started promoting it, which we will shortly, but you go to visitwasa.com/draft25. And we have contracted Lamer shuttles. There'll be pickup points in the greater Wausau area for hotels that are a part of a shuttle. What they'll do is for anyone, when we'll be advertising west of us, Western Wisconsin and Minnesota, to those Vikings fans, begrudgingly. But we'll be advertising over there for people to stay in Wausau. If they reserve rooms and pay for them in advance, then they'll get access to shuttle tickets. And all that information is on the /NFL or draft 25 page. Many of you might have checked your emails today or seen the news release of the 2024 economic report on 9 Mile Forest. We worked with Village of Red Mountain, Marathon County Parks and Forestry, and Travel Wisconsin's Office of Outdoor Rec to basically see that the 9 Mile Forest area had a $3.25 million impact over the course of 2024. And so again, Outdoor Rec is continuing to really lead the way and bringing people to central Wisconsin, as well as other events. Couple other notes too. We have been meeting regularly with the newly re-energized Central Wisconsin Lodging Association, which your own board member Kim is the new secretary of. Congratulations, Kim. She's pretty excited about being the secretary. But I think the cool thing about the Central Wisconsin Lodging Association is just how energized they are. Great attendance now. The hoteliers are all on the same page. And, you know, we're continuing to move forward with the Village of Rothschild and are hopeful that we'll have something here sooner than later with them. So the Lodging Association and the lodgers in Rothschild are a big part of that. You know, our goal is to, you know, again, get as many quality visitors here as we can that will stay more than one night. We'll do some even midweek things and stay here and use local businesses and restaurants and just, you know, again, help the local economy. So that's it for now. Again, appreciate your support and all the work that you guys do to help us do our work.
I've got a question, Tim.
Yeah.
I was hoping that Jim Pincinel was still in the room, but he's out talking to Steve Minell right now. But one of his questions, one of his many questions that we'll answer somehow or get him some answers to. But one of them was on the meeting minutes,
Meetings mean business.
meetings
mean,
business.
Yep.
I know why we don't contribute to that because it's hard to say. So,
yeah, right.
what is the total in there? Jody, I thought you had a number for us.
Yeah, Jody's got the total numbers. Yeah, go ahead, Jody.
It's on the total column.
Yep. And then we had chatted about it last week about how we can expend that money. And, you know, so if this horseshoe group is at Kennedy Park having a meeting, we can help that with our meetings, you know, dollars. But what is the dollar in there? 121?
193.
It is 193. Okay, because last week I thought it was like 120, but now Jim said.
Well, that's because you gave Mission of Mercy grant. You awarded them a $9,315 grant.
Right.
In
Yeah,
December.
but was that meeting minutes?
That was meeting means
Yes.
business.
It was. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yep.
then, so we were over 193? We were in the twos, you're saying?
Yeah.
Am I confused? I thought it was
That should
121.
be the total that's in the total column, so you would have been a little over 200.
Oh, wow. So we just need some direction on how we can spend that 193.
Yes.
So, and
Well-
we're not putting any money into that anymore. 24 we were, but not 25.
You still will for the fourth quarter that's coming.
Yeah, fourth
next
quarter,
month,
24.
but then,
Yep.
yeah.
But after that, it's not. So we just need to understand how to use that. So I kind of wanted that answer for him. I think he said 3 though, right?
I don't remember if he said a specific number, but
I
it's in the
thought he did.
packet, so that would.
Yeah, so, okay, that's why, okay.
But
Alright.
they still could,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and we can,
people that would have grant requests that would be specific to meetings, mean business could still apply for grant funds. That's how we
So
would.
how's that dentistry thing a meeting? That's a meeting, not an event?
They're using it towards their facility because they need the different room space. They
Okay,
Originally, we're gonna go to the Green Heck Turner Community Center, but with the breakouts of the.
Yep, then they had to go somewhere else.
individual
so I'm so-and-so and I wanna go after that 193. How do I do that? What kind of an event? So now
There's
I
an
can,
application that I have people fill out, but it needs to meet the requirements to offset the meeting cost of holding a meeting or.
so the dentistry thing is a meeting, so that's gonna help offset that. Okay, so something that I'm gonna have here, some kind of an event that's more meeting related, not sports related. That then I could.
well, yes and no. Last year, Rib Mountain had, in their meetings, Mean Business Fund, which they're getting rid of as well, used it to host some of the meetings around the US Masters ski event that happened at Granite Peak at the Hilton. So we can do that kind of thing too, so.
Just so, I mean, so if we have some events that come in here and we can move them into the meeting dollars, then let's move them into those dollars. And so then we can stretch this farther. Okay, all right.
Absolutely, yeah. We have that in mind too when we go after events too. So we look at all the resources that are there, including that. So
And it is held where? There was some sarcastic questions as far as the coffee can and interest, but it is what it is. So it's held, we're not getting interest on it. And that's the way it is. So that's just the way it is. Okay.
Well, we don't earn interest on
Right.
any of
On
that
any of it,
percentage.
right.
I
And
mean,
any of the hotel or any of the tax dollars going in there for rooms is not being held with interest, right? Okay. Okay. I think, okay, so if that's it for 6 for CDB reports, thank you, Tim. I just wanted to grab it into something so that we could actually talk about it. The grants we all talked about, old business, any old business? Anybody? Remarks from committee members. Any remarks? Kim, congratulations again. That's awesome. Yep. Hushain?
No.
Barb? Nothing I have. Good meeting, everybody. Let's see, future items, next regular meeting date, April 21st. Time to be determined. Right?
yeah, likely be around 4 though.
Yeah, 4:30, somewhere in there. We're looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to adjourn by Frederick, Fredericks or Frederick? Frederick. Second by Zagami or by Ermeling. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. We are adjourned at 4:57.